Committee member and Kansas Republican Jerry Moran joins us now. Thank you very much for joining us. Well, how would you characterize, based on all the reporting at this hour, the current state of this war? Have we reached a turning point?
Well, I doubt that we've reached a turning point. We need to make certain that that turning point is soon, and that we are determined to help our allies succeed in making that turning point. Iran is a significant adversary of the United States, of the West, of freedom. It is the largest terrorist supporting organization in the world. They spend more money on terrorism. And as you keep talking about terrorist proxies, they're all around us, and they are a dangerous threat to our allies, to our friends, to the West, and certainly to even to the United States. So we ought to be front and center paying attention to Iran. And I would say that as a beginning point, we ought to make sure that we are enforcing sanctions that Congress has passed in a bipartisan way over a period of time that have not been enforced to the degree they can be and should be by this administration. And we ought to make sure that we don't escape with that $6 billion, that the Iranians don't escape with that $6 billion that the Biden administration promised to them.
As far as this 24th confirmed attack on U.S. forces in the Middle East, Senator, this we learned within just the past hour. According to U.S. defense officials, it was 5 rockets that landed a mile away, approximately a mile away, as Jennifer just reported, from the Al-Assad air base in Iraq. It did cause no injuries to any U.S. or coalition forces or damage to the base. But again, this is the 24th attack on U.S. forces in Iraq and Syria since October 17th. These were not deemed a real threat to U.S. forces because of the proximity in which they landed. But how should we respond based on the information we have here?
We should see a much more aggressive response by the Biden administration, perhaps just by chance. They didn't land where they were intended to land, but there is no question but what Iran is attempting to distract the United States, to have us pay a price. And all of this, our support in our interest in supporting Israel is enhanced by our ability to push back on Iran for things they're doing to the United States in our interest around the globe. And in my view, it's not an unusual thing. It's not just a happenstance that we have Ukraine, China, Russia, and Israel, and now all these proxies funded and trained by Iran, taking what's more than pot shots at the United States of America. It requires a definite and firm response, not just words. It's a serious circumstance.
Senator, what do you think about this plan that Speaker Johnson, the newly elected Speaker Johnson, has unveiled? $14.3 billion Israel aid package with cuts to the IRS to pay for it. What do you think?
Well, I've called for hearings in the Appropriations Committee, which is going to take place. I'm a member of the Appropriations Committee, a defense appropriator, an appropriator for our intelligence services. And we face tremendous challenges around the globe: Russia and Ukraine, China and Taiwan, now Iran, the attack by Hamas in Israel. The clouds, those dark clouds, are aligning. And we need to, the reason for the hearing is to find out how that money is going to be spent. We're not going to just approve something the administration sends to Congress. We need to use a fine-tooth comb and find out how best to spend the money to defend our allies, but importantly, to make sure that the United States and our citizens are more secure as that money's spent. When we spend that money, we want to know that we're getting our money's worth in defending the American people.
Senator, we'll see how all of that goes. Could you weigh in on this moment that we are seeing happen here in the United States, this rise in anti-Semitism? The White House addressed it a short time ago, confirming that senior administration officials are agreeing now to meet with Jewish leaders and universities at American campuses to discuss what is happening at American college and universities in the wake of all of this. Are you surprised by this, and what should be done to hold these people accountable?
I would say I'm disappointed as compared to surprise. Anti-Semitism has been on the rise around the globe and here in the United States for the last several years. It's something that we would not expect because of who we are as Americans. we are not, we should not be capable of reaching these conclusions by stereotyping and attacking people based upon their heritage and religious views. This is a sad day, and we certainly need to make certain that our universities are teaching and giving opportunities for certainly free speech, but teaching the truth, teaching the real story behind the history of countries, including Israel, around the globe. So terribly discouraging, terribly disappointing, and something that I would wish that would never happen here in the United States or any place on the globe.
Yeah, and you look at those crowds that assembled there at that Russian airport as a flight was landing from Tel Aviv. The White House reacting to that today, calling it a chilling demonstration of hate, bigotry, and intimidation. I've got about 10 seconds left, sir.
I would just say that I would not be surprised to learn that those are orchestrated efforts outside the United States to stir the world in anger against Israel at a time in which they're under attack, at a time in which the United States needs to be strong in support of Israel.
Senator, appreciate you joining us.